Welcome. My name is Georges Verbena, and this is part 2 of my New Age series on New Age deceptions. Now in part 2 I'm talking about angels and guides and how these are a fake concept to distract you from your own guide, to distract you from yourself. Angels have been used for thousands of years as a concept of a deified entity which you can communicate with by praying to the entity, by thinking about them, telepathically trying to reach out, saying, "Oh, my angels and guides, please guide me. Please, I don't know what to do." Yes, of course you don't know what to do. Nobody knows what the hell they are doing. So somebody please help, right? So why not try angels and guides? It is something born from desperation. To reach out to somebody you cannot see, you cannot understand, you cannot communicate with. You have no proof of their existence whatsoever. But you are desperate enough. You are on your knees. You are like, my tarot cards aren't telling me what to do. My intuition, I don't know what is going on. So the guide should help me, right? It's his job after all. So you will call in entities like Archangel Michael, Archangel Uriel, Jesus Christ, Mohammed if you are so inclined, and God knows who else. And you are following an example of those New Age teachers, like those who came before you, who claim that they are channeling. But they are channeling these entities, like the Oracle of Delphi, like a high priestess. So, are you a high priestess? Do you know how channeling works? Do you even understand the concept? So this is a question we have to ask before we even think about angels and guides. Do I understand the difference between an illusion, which is conjured by my imagination, and a real message? We have to be radically self-honest here. Do I really have certainty? I don't give a shit about your beliefs. Do I have certainty? Do I know? Not just belief. Do I know that this is real? When I receive a message from Archangel Michael and he tells me to stay with my twin flame, to stick to this job, to keep going to a job that I hate, and he tells me to stay there. Is this really true? Do I know? 99.99, no, 100% of the time you don't know. You assume. We assume that this is a guide or an angel. Perhaps it feels real. Perhaps there is a feeling that tells us, oh, this seems familiar. This seems right. I like what this feels like, or God knows what. And if there's not a feeling, if you are a narcissist, or you're somebody who's severely traumatized, then you don't need the feeling. The thought is enough to convince you. Because your boundaries are so weak. Your ego defenses have been hijacked. You are so weak that your gates are like an open fortress, unbarred and unguarded, and you will trust something you cannot see, you cannot know, you do not understand. So that is the nature of the soul trap, really, of angels and guides. Because here's the truth, real talk, there are no angels and guides. Yes, let me repeat this. There are no angels and guides except one, and that is you. You, your unconscious you, the soul that is represented by this body, that is channeled, literally, in every waking moment, by this ego, this Gestalt, that projects an image outwards and communicates to the world, that finds a place in the world, is an emissary of the true guide within. The guide gives you messages all the time, but it's subtle, it's unconscious. Now there are many methods to access the knowledge within. There's hypnotherapy, there's plant medicines, which are extreme examples, but they always work. And then there are also tarot cards. You pull out some cards and they tell you what is happening. What is your unconscious telling you now? You see, you can pull some cards and they tell you your unconscious right now. Right now, I am the Queen of Cups. That is the card I pulled without looking. The Queen of Cups. Now she's represented by the sign of Cancer, which is of course me. The 12th house, which is also me. I have a 12th house stellium. Water. Water flows through you. Water is a container of information. You see, the Queen of Cups has both her feet in the waters, and she feels with her feet, like the sign of Pisces, which is why it roots the 12th house. Pisces roots the feet. And the waters are your gateway. Subtle vibrations come from the waters to pull you into this direction, to pull you into that direction. You're always being pulled by these waters, these emotions, energy in motion, all the time. All the time. Body sensations reveal the truth of what your unconscious is trying to get you to do. Are you listening? Then you are the Queen of Cups. But if you're not listening, you need a guide. You need an angel. You need communication. You need perhaps a Queen of Swords. You need to be above the clouds, to see things clearly, to understand the information that you're receiving. Is it correct or is it wrong information? Because those guides and angels is all in your head. The Hangman. Yeah, you have put yourself into a state of negation. You are no longer here. You're up in the clouds. You're open to the cosmic forces, and you are reaching for enlightenment. But that enlightenment never comes if you trust angels and guides to give you that, to allow somebody else to dictate what to do, is to be a slave. It is master-slave consciousness. This is very old. This is thousands of years old, where people have given up their inner authority, their inner light, their inner Christ consciousness. They have given up, surrendered to somebody else. And this somebody else will take advantage of you. You will be coerced. You will be bribed. You will be pushed. You will be threatened to make a decision on desperation. And in this moment, the entity is ready. the entity that doesn't even exist, but it is an imaginative concept for somebody else to take energy from you. Because where does your energy go? If you're praying to somebody who does not exist, who will feed on your worship? Who will taste the sacrifice on the altar? Which is your plea? Which is your prayer? Which is your ritual dedicated towards the dead? The dead which are only in your head. So you need to get out of the head. You need to pull back into the root. Guides and angels, how do you communicate to them? Only through the head. The guides and angels are not down here. They're up there. So that alone should tell you everything that you need to know. Because narcissists pull you into the head. They tell you, don't listen to that. Don't listen to the waters. You are unstable. You are crazy. I will gaslight you to dissociate, to split from the root, to listen only to me, whoever I am, even if I'm dead, even if I'm a dead person, for a narcissist is a dead entity, even if I have no sense of self and no identity, I will teach you how to ignore everything that your unconscious is saying. Because you would rather trust something that doesn't exist than yourself. So that is really mentally ill. Very ill. And somebody who worships angels and guides is a sick person. It's a psychotic disorder. It's very, very sick. It's no different from a religion in which you pray to a god and the god tells you commands and you follow those commands, whether you agree with them or not. And now let me tell you who I am. The Hierophant, the priest. Have you connected to the priest within you, to the authority? Hey, look at this. Is this really true? Listen to my words. Listen to my spirit, my fire. There's a reason he wears a crown of yellow, gold, and he wears a red gown. And there's two people praying to him. One in blue with white, God knows what, and one in white with red roses. This is the masculine and the feminine within you. They are listening to one authority, which is the high priest, the Hierophant. Now I said in the beginning that the feminine equivalent of the high priest, which is this card, which I randomly pulled, by the way, randomly, is the high priestess. And the high priestess is very different from this card, because the high priestess, she channels hidden messages when she communicates these messages. But who grounds these messages? Who makes the boundaries? Who's practical? Who's grounded with his feet firm on the ground? Cynical, critical, with his thinking no hijacked, but his eyes wide open and his mind fully intact. It's a Hierophant. And the Hierophant is not outside of you. And that is why the cards help you, the tarot cards, because they show you what you need to do, what you need to connect with. The Queen of Cups, body, tells you through the waters, and the Hierophant says, oh, okay, is this water really mine? Or is this water somebody else trying to stir me into the wrong direction? So it's just about being grounded. Groundedness allows you to receive messages, follow these messages, to be clear, this is not an imagination, this is not a hallucination. Because hallucinations, they are based on beliefs. The belief that whatever you're feeling, whatever you're sensing, means something other than what it is telling you. So here, I want to finish this video by making clear that somebody who worships, for example, Archangel Michael, is just feeding louche to God knows who in the astral. And these entities, they can manipulate you. They can use the false white light to lead you astray, because they feed you serotonin and dopamine. They trigger this in the brain because the brain has been conditioned and brainwashed in a very specific way that we want to follow, because we have rejected our inner authority. So we want somebody like a guide or a friend to tell us what to do. But those of us who are smart, who are intelligent enough to see that nobody can know us better than ourselves, will build upon ourselves. You are like a project. You need to strengthen your muscles. You have to increase your senses. You want to be a channel? You want to be a high priestess? You want to have a strong intuition? Use it. Use it. Will you fail? Will you make a wrong choice? Absolutely. Yes. You will fail. And then you will learn. But to skip on this failure, to be driven by fear and cowardice and, like I said in the beginning, desperation, and to allow somebody else to tell you because you are too afraid of taking responsibility for yourself, in reverse. You will never be a high priestess if you don't use what you got. The resources are within you. You got the power. You are the high priestess. All these cards, all of them, they're inside of you. Now, it may be difficult for somebody who hasn't used that part of themselves to access. But if you use it, and you use it again, and again, and again, insisting to listen to that, and nobody else, it will be strong. And then the card will come out clearly through you, your embodiment, your channeling. Your avatar will radiate in the brilliance of this card only if you separate and individuate, like Carl Jung, from those demonic angels and guides, like the Pleiadians or Arcturians or God knows who. Your alien guides. Alien means stranger. So strangers are your guides. Where's your family? Your internal family system. Know that one. Your somatic experiencing, your focusing, your felt sense, your somatic embodiment. To embody like Isis, the high priestess, the waters within her. To allow those waters to take over those emotions, those frequencies, those vibrations, where are they coming from? From outside or from within? So that's my video on guides and angels, demonic manifestations to manipulate and brainwash people, to distract them, to make sure that they do not train their muscles, that they don't go to the gym of the unconscious, and they don't keep looking, that they stop looking, and they rely on hallucinations, psychotic, sad, low, negative, depressing, grief, slavery. These are the dense vibrations you will witness in anybody who allows themselves to be misled by these false white light beings. They will feed on your energy and pull you into desperation as much as they can, to be disempowered, to give your power away to somebody else. It's an infantilization, to regress you to a childlike state in which you're so helpless. You say, "Mommy, Mommy, tell me what to do. Mommy, I don't know what is real." To be helpless, to be dependent. Shed your dependencies. Purify the swarm from anything around you which makes you dependent on somebody else. It will dim your light to such an extent that your house will be filled with parasites feeding on you. For that is the frequency, vibration of anybody who submits to guides and angels. It's like an infestation, parasitic. I have visited the homes of people before who claimed to have an altar, to have a grid, to have a setup or whatever, in which they pray to these guides and angels and use them to support their home. It's a parasitic, desperate grief kind of consciousness, so low, it's very sad consciousness. And I cannot say enough just how extremely giga low it is, for it is really disgusting. Yes, it is disgusting. It is despicable and psychotic to be so enslaved that you are happy to be surrounded by beings that only exist in your imagination. It is so utterly sick. It is depravity. It is despicable. It is an offense. It is an insult to the divine intelligence within. The intelligence is pushing forward, pushing, vibrating, pulsing with each heartbeat, trying to wake you up like the snake at the bottom, trying to rise up, to hit you, to activate you. Come on, do the thing. Take the risk, pay the consequences, make the decision. Stop listening to those who try to lead you astray. So that is the awakening, that is the enlightenment, to break free from any dependencies on other beings, external or otherwise. So if you like this video, leave a like, leave a comment. If you like to see specific New Age deceptions next, because I will continue the series and I will use your ideas to make these videos. Thanks for watching and see you in the next.